Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today I'm going to be breaking down a beginner-friendly version of the Beatles classic Let It Be. Now I'm going to be showing it to you in the key of G. However, it can easily be put back into the original key of C just by putting a capo here on the 5th fret. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be. Let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. And though they may be parting, there is still a chance they will see, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Shines on me, shine up till tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper Okay, we have a close look at the neck. I'm going to start off by showing you the basic chord progression that goes into this song. What we have here is a 1, 5, 6, 4 progression in the key of G. So, those numbers are being drawn from the major scale. Everything in music is in reference to that major scale. So, if I look at my first note of the scale, G major scale, I have a G. So that means my first chord will be G major. Moving on, if I look at the 5th note of the scale, G, A, B, C, D, there it is. The next chord would be D major, the 1-5 progression. The next chord we have is the 6, minor 6, G, A, B, C, D, E. So E minor is in the key of G. And then finally we have the 4 chord, 1, 5, 6, 4, G, A, B, C. So there's my root of the C chord. And now I have a full 1, 5, 6, 4 progression. G, D major, E minor, and C. So those roots are being drawn from the major scale in G. And not only that, but the notes that exist within the chords are also found in that scale. So if you were to pick apart all those chords and look and see what notes are inside them, you'd find that they all exist within the major scale in the key of G, meaning that they all have the same tonal center and they'll all sound fantastic with each other. Alright, so for the beginners out there, I'm going to break apart all those chords and show you where your fingers belong. That G major chord, my 3rd finger is here on the 3rd fret of the low E string. My middle finger is there on the 2nd fret of the A string, and my pinky is here on the high E string 3rd fret. This can be an uncomfortable position for a lot of beginners, but it's totally worth getting down. It's a very useful version of the G major chord. Moving on to the D major chord, I have a little peace sign shape. My first finger here on the 2nd fret of the G string, my middle finger on the high E string 2nd fret, and my 3rd finger here on the 3rd fret of the B string. So I have a peace sign to a triangle shape, strumming from my D string down. All right, the next chord we have is E minor, very easy shape. I call it my rock on position. My middle finger is here on the 2nd fret of the A string, while my 3rd finger is below that on the 2nd fret of the E string. So I have strumming from E to E, every single string. And then finally, the C major chord, my 3rd finger goes here on the C note, the root, 3rd fret of the A string. My middle finger is here on the 2nd fret of the D string, and my 1st finger is here on the 1st fret of the B string. So I have C major strumming from the A string down. G, D, E, C. Okay, now taking a look at the actual chord progressions, there's only 2 sections to the song, the verse and the chorus, and some walk downs and walk ups in between. Getting started with the verse chord progression, it's all stock in the beginning. G, D, E minor, C. But the mark of a good songwriter is that he or she is able to take something that's been done over and over again, a stock chord progression, and make it more interesting and new again. So the second time around, Paul is going to omit the E minor, the minor 6 chord, go right to the 4, and then back to the 1 chord, G major. So our full verse chord progression is G, D major, E minor, C major, back to the G chord, to the D chord, and then to the C chord, and back to the G. For the beginners out there, you can just strum each of those chords 2 times each. So we'll have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But once you have that down, you can start to kind of get a little bit more adventurous with your strumming patterns and throw in a lot of 8th notes and 16th note flourishes just to make it a little bit more powerful. So the strumming pattern that I like to use when I'm going through my verses is like this. So while I'm doing there, over the G chord, down, 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 up. Switch chords, down, 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 up. E minor, down, 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 up. And to the C, down, 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 up. Now I'm being very careful to strum from the appropriate string downward, and then on my upstrokes I'm keeping it very light, basically attacking just the treble strings, G, B, and high E. Okay, with some simple strumming, let's give that verse a try. We'll start off with the first verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Okay, good. Now that we have that down, we can throw in a gospel-style walk down. We're going to do it at the very end of the verse, where he says, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Right there, in between the C and G chords that end our verses. So all we're going to do is we're going to strum the C major chord once, pluck the A string 2nd fret, then the open string A, and strum the G chord. So that will sound like this. One more time. All right, now in context. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Here we go. C, 2, O, G. and I'll do that for each of my verses. Okay, now that we have our verses down, we can move on to our chorus sections. Now this is going to be very similar to the verse, but he's starting on the minor 6 chord. So that is E, E minor. All right, the chord progression for this section, we have E minor, to the 5 chord, D major, to the C major chord, to the G. G major repeats, to the D major chord, into a C, and we walk to our G major. So one more time, 2 beats each, E minor, D chord, C major, G, G again, to the D chord, and C major, walk to the G. All right, let's give that a try together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Okay, so we have 2 easy chord progressions down, our verse and our chorus, and also our short gospel style walk down. Now, the last step, we're gonna add in the extended walk down. This is a section that sounds like this. One time real slow. So all we're doing there is we're strumming our C major chord, playing the same thing that we did in the short walk. 2, 0 on the A string and a strum of the G chord. And then from there we're gonna play the first fret of the low E string, then play open, strum the D major chord, strum the C major chord, and strum our G major chord. So one more time, C major, 2, 0 on the A string, a strum of the G major chord, 1, 0 on the low E, D major chord, C major chord, and a strum of the G. Now, Paul McCartney does this twice before he goes into the guitar solo, or George takes the guitar solo, and also at the end of the tune. So I like to use this right at the very end of the tune, and I kind of slow it down just to let the audience know that the song is coming to a close. So it might sound like this. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Short walk, then follow up the extended. All right, everyone, thanks so much for checking out this quick beginner lesson on Let It Be by the Beatles. I got plenty more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe and please share. I'm Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia, saying happy picking.